Okay, I was just watching a program on NDTV, and it was a debate where they had Ravish Kumar, one of their anchors, and also Rana Ayub, another journalist who used to work for Tehlika, and she's one of those anti-BJP, anti-Narendra Modi character. Um, so anyway, that's not the point. The point is they had these people on the panel to talk about their personal experience with online abuse. So apparently, the Ravish Kumar, that's one of the NDTV anchors, he has Hindi programs on the channel. Apparently, he's getting a lot of death threats and a lot of abuse in the hands of these trolls. So people are calling him every night and for every 3 minutes or 5 minutes and then abusing him using some fake accounts. He just cannot keep up with these calls. Even though he blocks one number, another number pops up. It looks like very coordinated by, I don't know, the small group or big group of individuals. And also, there are a lot of videos online, Facebook, here and there, uh, threatening to kill him. So it's a pretty serious matter if you think about it. It's when somebody post a video on Facebook saying that I'm going to kill you personally using, that's not funny. It's not even, it has to be taken very seriously. So I understand he's totally kind of shaken by this whole thing that's going on. And it seems like it's getting worse every day. Even Rana Ayub had posted a opinion piece on New York Times very recently, talking about her own personal struggle with these kind of threats. They even had, in addition to death threats, they even circulated some kind of pornographic video clip where, with all the doctored image, they showed her uh, as if she was taking an act, he was engaged in a sexual act, even though it was all fake. But anyway, you get the picture. So, it was a good debate, but I'm not here to justify or support any kind of online abuse or online threats because nobody in the right mind would do that. It's so counterproductive. It's so opposed to any decent human society, right? Nobody, just because I don't like your ideas, just because I didn't like your opinions, I cannot threaten to kill you. I mean that's so medieval. That's like ISIS style or Taliban style or one of those um, backward countries where there is no scope for, there's no room for reasoning, right? So nobody, not in 1,000 years I would support that kind of approach by anybody. So hope police go after these guys and catch them and teach them a good lesson because this is no joke. Now I want to switch gear a little bit here. I'm doing this because I want you to understand some of the hypocrisy of the same people who are on panel. All right. So I'm going to ask you a few questions. Have you seen their reaction when, remember a group of students that took their gang in one of the Delhi campuses? They called for destruction of India. Do you remember the reaction back then? That was justified under free speech. Hey, you know what? Surprisingly, I support it. Even though I strongly disagree with what they had to say, I supported the free speech. Okay, you can say whatever you want, as long as there is no physical threat, right? Now, I want to ask you a second question. Do you remember the same fake secular brigade coming out and justifying your free speech to criticize, let's say, Islam? Or your right to draw, let's say, a cartoon of some prophet or pictures of some prophet? Have you seen them do that? Why I'm saying this is because they are not principled people. They don't really believe in free speech. They don't really believe in secular values. Let me ask you more questions. We had seen like incidents, like for example in Tariq Fatah, and even some of the VHP leaders were threatened by some of the Islamist groups or some of the clerics with beheading. They issued fatwa saying that these guys made some comments about our prophet or whatever it is, and then we are going to behead them. And if you behead them, I'll give you like a 1 crore rupees or 50 lakh rupees, right? Have you seen these guys come out very strongly, and engaging in debate and the procession, whatever it is, pretty much with the same passion they show when it comes to their favorite topics, right? Have you seen them do it? I don't remember it. And what about very recently there was a report that came out on Rohingya Muslims, where one of the international bodies confirmed with the data, with the dates and the numbers and the location details, they confirmed that Rohingya Muslims had massacred close to 90 or 100 innocent Hindu men, women, children. They had massacred them. They rounded them up in the village and they massacred them. What was their reaction? I mean, can you imagine if it was the other way around? Imagine like some Hindu group massacred another minority group, okay? It doesn't matter who it is, okay? Can you imagine the Twitter storm by these guys? Their Twitter handles will be filled with non-stop outrage. Have you seen the same kind of outrage this time? I don't remember seeing that. And they always talk about the rights, the women's right, this and that, the equal rights, right? Okay, how much passion, how much outrage you have seen from these fake secular groups when it came to lack of women's right in Islamic community, in Muslim community, I'm sorry. They will do this token symbolic once in a while, one not so serious comment. Oh yeah, of course. Like if you ask Barka Dutt, of course I was always against it. I was like I couldn't. I was support equal rights, and then she will move on. She would make that comment only if somebody kind of confronts her, pokes her over and over again. Then she would just say, because of course you cannot say with a straight face that no, I support double standards. You can't say that, right? So that's what I'm giving these examples because these fake seculars, these fake liberals, they, in my opinion, they also abuse social media. Not even social media, it goes back prior to social media. Remember, they had monopoly over these media outlets for a long, long time. It was only the social media that reversed the trend, that put the more power in the hands of regular people like you and me. Until then, it was these fake seculars, fake liberals, who had pretty much monopoly over Indian media. And they would always put out stories, they would always put out this news and the coverage and the debates and the kind of opinions that was always coming from one direction, focusing on only one group. And they have lost their power now. They have lost their power. And that's because of the social media. Now, here is where, I'm going to make a separate video on that because I think what I feel is the bad behavior of left wing has resulted in bad behavior of right wing now. Now, right wing has engaged in pretty much the same tactics as the left wing in terms of the fake news, in terms of character assassination, in terms of deception, in terms of the dishonesty, right? I think it's one bad behavior is met with another bad behavior. That's what you're seeing now. And I think it's not good for the social media. It's not good for the whole entire discourse here, because we need a platform where we can freely exchange ideas and engage in honest debate. A transparent, honest debate where I should be able to put out my opinions. And if I'm wrong, you should be able to call it out. And vice versa, right? That's how societies grow. That's how societies move forward. That's how we move towards a more and more ideal society, where we have more and more rights, where we have less subjugation, less discrimination, less suffering. So it's very important that we speak up in this process, and we don't take sides. So I'm not here to support any kind of online abuse, whether it's from the left wing or right wing. Death threats, absolute no, and any kind of threat to physically harm you or hurt you or your family, or that should be taken at the highest level of seriousness. And then the law enforcement should go after those folks, and wherever they are, if they're hiding in using fake accounts or in other societies, wherever it is, people should try everything possible to bring them to justice, because threatening to kill is not funny business. But on the other hand, people like you and me, who are fair-minded, who are honest, who don't care about left wing or right wing. We want best for everybody. We want truth. We want the best possible life and happiness for everybody. We should also speak up, so that way we call out bad behavior from both sides. Otherwise, the whole media, the social media would be poisoned by these two extreme groups, and there will be consequences, and we all will be the losers. So let's not wait till it happens. Let's speak up. Let's strive for truth. Let's strive for fairness. Let's fight for the transparency.